you start singing, and then you have this moment. Another pivotal moment is you're 17. Someone introduces you to David Foster, a famous producer, arranger, and he asks you to do this thing at the Grammys. It's like you were a kid.
It was so close together, like that. The shy 13-year-old whose voice was on the brink of changing was 13. And then the call came in when I was 16.
Right.
So the time period between absolutely having no clue, wearing this coat that was so big on me, and getting this call to be part of something that was very
what was it? It was
professional
something,
level.
a big thing at the Grammys.
David had heard me sing at a charity event that he asked me to do, plucked out of high school. I sang a song from Phantom of the Opera. It was like the biggest day of my life. But I went back to class. I didn't think anything else would come from it. So when he called me and he said, I'm at the Grammys, I've written this song. It's called The Prayer. It's for Celine Dion and Andrea Bocelli. And Bocelli is stuck on a tarmac in Germany. He can't be here in time for the rehearsals. Would you step in and would you sing this for Celine, with Celine until he shows up?
Do you mind? Do you mind?
Now
that's just insane.
What?
And I, being an idiot, I mean, really, 16 years old, I did not have stars in my eyes to be a solo artist. I was like, I wanted to go to theater camp. I wanted to worship the throne of Sondheim, and I wanted to that's what I wanted to do. So the idea of like the music business, being a singer with those kinds of people, I was only thinking, can I do this well or not? And even though I was the hugest fan of Celine, I said to him, I don't think I'm the right person for this gig. I was so insecure. And Andrea Bocelli is like one of the great tenors of all time. And I was very much like living in my baritone world. I was not singing those very high notes. And so I said, I think you can do better. I said, thank you so much for asking me. I'm really honored, but I think you can do better. And my mom yelled at me from downstairs. I was, of course, still living at home. And she said, who is that? And I said, oh, that was David Foster. Oh, what did he want? Well, it's this Grammy rehearsal, as it happens, and Celine Dion is there and Bocelli isn't. And he asked me to come and sing. And, well, what did you say? I said, well, obviously, I said, I'm probably not the right person for the job. And they kind of went, oh, all right. Well, all right then. And I could tell they were disappointed. David Foster called me back and he said, I don't think you understood me. Get your ass to the Shrine Auditorium. Nobody had turned him down before. Right. So he said, get over here. He barely gave me a pass. My dad shows up with me at the side door. Security's like, who are you? I said, I'm here to sing with Celine Dion.
Yeah. Hi, I'm 17.
I'm going to sing with Celine.
And this is my dad. And we're here for Celine Dion. Which way to the microphone? And, like the security guard had to like walkie-talkie another guy with a walkie-talkie who, and so on and so far. And against, finally, Ken Ehrlich, who produced the Grammys, came out and grabbed me. And, it was just, I was so new to it that it was such another world. I didn't really permeate how important that moment was to be for me.
Sure.
I just wanted to do a good job. I didn't want to embarrass myself. Celine, of course, came out, and then I realized how real it was. But the thing about Celine in that moment was she knew that David Foster was doing a thing, that this wasn't just a job. She knew, because she'd been there at my age, that David was actually providing a door and an opportunity to prove myself.
Yeah.
And that it was a lesson, and that this was a moment. This was not just a rehearsal.
Right.
And so she kind of like clocked it, and she's like, oh, got it. Josh, so nice to meet you. Kiss, kiss. Could see I was nervous, and she made her sound check about making me comfortable. She grabbed my hand. Nice. She's like, we're going to do this. And when you look at me and you have the Italian, then I'll sing the English. We got this. Just look at the prompter and look at the, she was like pep talking me out there. And I know now that I've done a lot of sound checks for TV shows, I know how precious those, from just doing it. You always
get much less, I'm sure.
Such little
there
time.
are allowances for Celine Dion in that moment. but I noticed that,
it's quick.
Yeah, if you're doing the Oscars, they'll give, and it's only appropriate, like Barbara Streisand, all the rehearsal time she needs. Right. And then I'll say, I've got a thing where I catch a fake giant bird on a mountain with Josh Groban. They're like, you've got 8 seconds.
Yeah, that's lunch.
That's lunch. You have 8 seconds to get it right and then get out of here.
Who are you? Host. Got it.
Yeah.
It's quick. And so now that I know and that was a big song that she was about to sing, really hard. And that was a big moment. It was nominated for a Grammy, an Oscar. So the fact that she took her precious time, when many superstars of that time would have looked at me as like stand-in singer, all right, do the best you can, let's get through it. I might not have decided that this business was for me had she been me.
So even though you were for rehearsal only, right?
Yeah.
And so...
Well, Ken Ehrlich said to me after I rehearsed, we're still looking to see if Bocelli can make his flight. So go buy a suit. in this lunch break. Go buy a suit. I'll never. I mean, this feels so old timey. Like this feels so like the old. But now you can TikTok yourself and get yourself on. You can find an audience.
Right.
But that idea of like, the kid did okay. Go down to Men's Warehouse. There's one down the street, and I've got a tailor. Here's his name, and it was like,
cool.
like, gotta get a suit. I looked at my dad and I said, I can't do this on camera. Like, this is not. I'm not ready for this. Thankfully, Bocelli showed up. I got to meet him. He wound up doing the song, and I got to have a really good story.
Did you get to tell Bocelli, you were okay? I thought I nailed it.
I was
because he's a notoriously bad singer.
Yeah.
No, I was so grateful that he was going to finally go out there and nail it. My dad did have a camcorder video of it, and now of course that filming a sound check for something like the Grammys or the Oscars is just absolutely no. And Celine saw that he was filming, and the security said, "You can't do that." And she said, "No, let him film that."
Oh,
so that was,
she's
it just
the
was.
best.
She was the absolute best that day, and so but then 10 years later, I got to sing that song on the Grammys with Bocelli. So we had like a kind of a full circle, and I've sung it with Celine a few times since then. So it's wild how those things. Do you remember your 16-year-old get a suit moment?
Well, mine came later. Mine came when I was 48.
Still involved a suit.
Now, I do remember, I mean, the story I have that kind of lines up a little bit with that was obviously I had all these other adventures beforehand,
Sure.
but, living out here in LA and getting a chance to audition to possibly be considered to be a late night host replacing David Letterman, which seemed insane.
Mm-hmm.
But they said, show up in Burbank at this time. And I didn't have anything to wear. So Lisa Kudrow, who's, my best friend at the time, she said, hey, I'll take care of this. And she took me to Fred Siegel and picked out the worst coat. And I'm sorry, Lisa, and we've talked about this before, but I'm a very pale person. I know now that I need to wear blue. She was like, oh, this looks good. And it was this linen floppy jacket that was very, like, almost pure white, maybe a little off-white. And so I put it in the back of my Taurus, and some transmission fluid that got on it and stained it. So I turned and I walk out, and I mean, people have, I think, looked up. You can look up the footage of me auditioning. I'm like, hey, everybody. And I've got the floppy hair. And then I look like I'm trying to pretend to be Don Johnson in Miami Vice after he repaired a car.
Could you see the stain on the
I don't think you could, but it was just and so you don't just have one moment like that.
Right.
You have, in my case anyway, many of them, and they continue.
Yeah.
And,
they say luck is preparation meets opportunity. And, these moments, these points of light continue. It wasn't just that moment. I can think of that was a tentpole of a moment that I didn't know then, but the domino effect happened after that.